Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk this good boxing, MMA, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we here with the weekly boxing EP. I'm going to go break down 6 fights for y'all throughout the weekend. I'm going to give y'all all of my winners. I'm going to give y'all my most confident picks. I'm going to set up a parlay for y'all. And then I'm going to tell y'all why. Which specific reason I picked each fight the way that I picked it and the method, right? So before I waste too much more of y'all time, man, let's go and get into it. So what you see now up here is a list of all the people that I think are going to win the fights this week. I'm going to explain each pick I made a little later in this video, so bear with me. What I'm finna do now is I'm just about to tell y'all, who I got to win the fight, how I got them to win the fight, and then after, I'm going to break down and explain to y'all each fight. And then at the end of that, we go cook us up a parlay for the day, right? But I got Mason, I got Nicky, Anderson, Zayas, Davis, and I got Jack Catterall. All right, so now what I'm finna do for y'all is I'm about to explain why I took each pick. We're going to start with the main event, and that's Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis. This is a huge step-up fight for Keyshawn Davis. It's a step-up fight for Berinchyk too, right? But Berinchyk has been around the game for a minute now, right? So he's more experienced than Keyshawn Davis, but this most definitely is going to be Keyshawn's toughest opponent up until this date. Probably going to be Berincyk's toughest opponent too, right? But just speaking on Keyshawn, he's no longer that young prospect. If he wins this fight this weekend, he's a champion, right? So he loses the prospect tag, he loses the contender tag, and we're going to have to call him a champion. He has a real champion in front of him, a real task, and Berinchyk in front of him to beat. But I do think Keyshawn is equipped to do it. I think Keyshawn is the more athletic fighter in this fight. I think he has the hand speed advantage. I think he has a power advantage. Although Berinchyk does have nice power, I think Keyshawn has the power advantage. I do think Keyshawn, if we're just raw skill, raw talent, I think he's a better boxer also than Berinchyk. Keyshawn has all the tools he needs to win this fight. It's going to be how, Keyshawn's mindset is when he comes into this fight. And one thing I will say about Keyshawn, he may give you a lot of, bulletin board material before the fight, but when he fights, when he actually gets in the ring to start these fights, he's locked in. He's our business, right? I think he got the right name, the businessman. Because some people, criticized him, for not being aggressive enough early. He still got that amateur style. He got to sit down on his punches, right? They don't talk about it so much, right? Because lately he's been knocking people out. You know what I mean? So I think as he's gotten more comfortable in the pros, you've seen the knockouts increase even at that higher level. He's fighting Berinchyk this weekend. I could see Keyshawn winning this fight 2 ways. I could see Keyshawn just outclassing and outboxing Berinchyk, and I also can see over the course of the fight, Keyshawn able to, kind of pick Berinchyk, apart and wear him down for a late round stoppage TKO. If I'm giving my most confident pick, I would say just take Keyshawn on the money line, right? But probably, I think this fight goes decisions. I don't think that Keyshawn stops Berinchyk, but if he does stop Berinchyk, that would be highly impressive. That would be highly impressive and most definitely worth, all the praise that he's going to be getting for this win. Big time fight, big time, circumstances for both fighters, because if Berinchyk wins this, he could change his life as well. Berinchyk is a guy who has solid power, and he has the heart of a lion. He possesses some boxing skills as well. I just think that his boxing skills in this fight are inferior to Keyshawn's. I got Keyshawn Davis to win this fight. And in the next fight, we got Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Marios Coleus. In this fight, I'm taking Big Baby Anderson. Big Baby Anderson is coming off the first loss of his career in which he got stopped. Now, I don't think he looked terrible in his fight. I just think that he was in way over his head, right? It's like his punches wasn't affecting Bakole, and every time Bakole hit him, you know, he rocked him. I think he's going to be looking to bounce back. He's going to be looking to make a statement, and I think that he knocks this guy out. I won't say that I think this guy's being put in here to get knocked out because this guy can fight, right? But with Jared Anderson, you know, having so much on the line for his career and moving forward, I think Jared Anderson locks in and he gets the knockout. The next fight, we got Zayas versus Sotemir. I don't know a whole lot about Sotemir, but he can fight a little bit, right? I checked out his resume. He doesn't have the highlight names on there, but he do got fighters, you know, who has a pulse. He just hasn't been knocking out tomato cans. I don't think he's as talented as Xander Zayas, so I'm going to be taking Xander Zayas in this fight by points decision. He hasn't been getting the knockouts as of late, and I don't think that, you know, he's going to knock this guy out, but I do think Zayas wins this fight, point decision. In the next fight, we got Mason versus James or James, one of those, you know, enunciations. My bad if I'm butchering it. But either way, I got him going to sleep. I got Abdullah Mason by knockout in this fight. I don't think that James is a bad fighter, right? But Abdullah Mason just too fast, too quick, too strong, too ready, too primed. Kind of like in the main event, but to a lot lesser degree, right? This fight. But I got Abdullah Mason by KO. All right, the next fight, we got Berinchyk Jr. versus Cole. I think this has the potential to be maybe the most exciting fight of the night, right? I think this fight is going to come down to a boxing match. Cole is a guy who has solid power, but he really, you know, likes to outbox his opponents, outpoint them. Berinchyk is really a come-forward guy, and he tries to stop you. He does have some boxing ability. I would say in this fight, though, Berinchy's boxing ability, he may not have an edge. Like, it may be even, but he may not have an edge in it. I think the boxing ability are about, you know, what and what in this fight. But I'm taking the aggressiveness of Berinchyk to come through in this fight. I think this fight going to be pretty close, though. But I got Berinchyk Jr. to win this fight by decision. And last, but most certainly not least, we got Catterall versus Barboza. I also think this is going to be one of the highly competitive fights of the weekend. Between that last fight and this one, I'm expecting, you know, some close calls, some, you know, maybe split decisions, majority decisions, you know what I mean, something like that. I was torn with this fight a little bit between Catterall and Barboza because I've had, you know, pretty good success siding with Barboza, you know, over his career. But it's something about Jack Catterall, right? He just possesses that know-how. He possesses that right? He got the skill. He got the rough and ruggedness as well. Has the IQ. Barboza's biggest thing is that he doesn't have a whole lot of power. But Jack Catterall isn't a guy with just menacing power either, right? But I am going to favor the crisp shots over Jack Catterall, over the, come forward kind of style of Barboza. Now, Catterall does tend to slow down a little on the back end of these fights, so that could be a problem going into this fight. But Barboza is a guy, he's an all-around pretty good fighter, right? He's not great at one thing, doesn't have great speed, doesn't have great power, doesn't have great, footwork, but he has good enough in all those categories to make him a real problem to beat. So that could pose a problem for Catterall, especially if he slows down. But I am going to take Jack Catterall in this. I think he's the more crisp, technical fighter. I'm going to take Jack Catterall points decision over Barboza. So now what we about to do now, y'all, is I done broke down the 6 fights. Now we about to make our parlays. Right, I'm finna drop this parlay on y'all, then I'm going to get up out of here, man. Davis points, Catterall points, Big Baby Anderson KO, and Abdullah Mason KO. You put those together. I'm not really sure how much they worth right now because this is a Monday and they haven't dropped the odds, for the methods and whatnot, right? But if you parlay all 6 of my winners, that'll get you to plus 150, right? But Davis points, Catterall points, Anderson KO, Mason KO, take it to the bank. I feel like those are my most confident method picks. I'm going to parlay them up. You do the same. Skin the Hardaway Southern Tea. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.